Hello year 11 and hence, welcome to this video. This video I will talk about how to change the structure of our current data structure and change it in a way that makes more sense. So currently, after you got through all the to-do tasks and have the code working properly, then the next thing is we want to change, our final goal will be changing this array here. So the problem is this. Let's see, I'm just going to come over to here. This is a representation of how data is currently stored in a table. I could also show the XML, but XML you have to scroll up and down. It's a little bit easier to see in a table like this. So currently how it's stored is we have a list or an array of all the names, array of classes, array of race, and so on. So all of these names are stored together. They're all bunched together in an array called names. Now the problem with this is it doesn't quite make sense because if, for instance, a problem is if, for instance, if we wanted to delete some of the heroes and accidentally kept one, say, if we kept the name standing but deleted all the leads, so if we delete these, then what happens is now Sandra will not be connected to Rogue. It's not aligned to Rogue. What will happen if you delete um, one one element from array is everything under it will now get pushed up. So now when you read the code, it will output James as a rogue, as a high elf with these stats. But that's incorrect. These belong to Sandra. Now, so it's prone to mismatching. And the same occurs if we don't delete a bunch, if we just delete one. Say if we just delete that one 120, or just to make it a little bit more dramatic, if I delete this 300, if I take that away, then what happens is these will get popped up to there. Since the first element of that attack list or array is deleted, then everything else bumps up to index. Oh, and I noticed there's an index problem. This should be 0, 1, 2. Computer science always start counting at 0, counting from 0. So then it's prone to mismatching problems. And also it's not a good way to extend the code. I'm just going to change that back, but I need to change this to 0, 1, 2. Okay, it's not a good idea for extending the code. I forgot what this number was. So if we wanted to add, say, another value, then we need to create a whole new array. Let's see, what could be another value? Maybe, how about magic attack? Something like that. Then we need to create a new array with new set of numbers for each of the characters. And that's also prone to mismatching in case you mess it up. But it's a lot of work. So what might make more sense is instead to store these vertically to have them associated horizontally. So we want a way that we can store this as bunched together as a bundle. So we're bundling together the name, the class, the race, the attack, defense, hit point of this one particular hero. So that if we add another attribute, then first of all, it wouldn't cause mismatching issues. And in some place where we define this bundle, we just need to add one new field, one new name, pretty much just one line of code, and then that will create an entire column for us to populate. It also makes more sense if you think about hero. If we're playing a game, then usually all the data, all the stats should be associated to the hero itself. So it makes more sense to store it horizontally, whereas vertically, these stats don't really associate together with each other. They're just a list of stats. So it's very dangerous if you try to store things vertically and have it only matched up based on the index. It's very dangerous to do that. Alright, so let's get into the code. So inside the code, instead of all this, I'll keep it here for now in case we want to refer to it, refer to all the changes. First we'll add a class. So let's see, project, add a class. There's a few names that are synonymous with class inside of VB. You could also call it a record, so R-E-C-O-R-D, record, or it's also called an object in other languages, classes, especially Java. I come from a Java background, object-oriented programming, programming, OOP, object-oriented programming. Yes, it's pretty popular out there. It's a style of coding where everything is a class. Everything is an object, is a class. So, such as if you're building a game, you would have a class called the game manager, and under the game manager, you could have classes called enemy, hero. Everything is stored in a class. Um, so, without further ado, I'll just get into this. Um, let's call it hero, of course. Hero.bb. So our class, think of it as a bundle of attributes for now. And inside of here, let's do friend. Um, there's a reason for using friend versus dim. So currently, so I'll just write the code out first. Friend, let's see, what are the attributes again? I remember the first one was name as string. So all I'm doing is adding all the attributes here, and I think this class, but the problem is I can't call class because class is reserved. The reason I called this hero class instead was if I use class, then it will clash with this reserved word. So I have to call this something different. How about let's just call it, it's a little bit annoying, hero name then. Hero class, I'll keep it consistent. String, so it actually might be faster if I copy paste code instead of writing it. No, so then I have to delete all of these, which is also annoying. Yeah, it might be even faster just to write it out from scratch. Hero, what else? Hero race as string, string friend, hero attack as integer, friend hero defense integer friend hero. What else am I missing? Hit points as hit points as integer. All right, so that's it. That's our bundle. And for each class, ideally you want to add, a header, a class header. You can do that as well. I'm just gonna skip it, not to add too much content to this video. All right, so that's basically it, and that's our bundle. That's our bundle created. Now, how to create a hero? This is something I need to figure out. I usually do it a different way. So let's see. First, let me get rid of all this code, but just in case I need it, I'll just comment out for now. And let's do not in comment. Dim. I'll call it list of heroes as list of heroes 20 as hero. All right. So now the idea is instead of having a list or array of each of the attributes, have an array of heroes, and inside of each element in this array, it will be correspond to one of the rows in that in this table here. All right, so we got that set up, and we got to change all the relevant code. So, well, the good thing is it gives us these red underlines, and we can access them. So the first thing we'll actually need to do is create a hero. So upon loading, let me think. At this point, let's see. I'm just deciding where should we create a new hero. Probably when we read, we'll call dim temp hero as hero. Okay, it's unused, that's fine. And then, so each iteration, it would do this. I'm just thinking if I need to do it for each iteration. No, probably not for each iteration. I just need to do it up at the top here. Otherwise, it'll create a new hero each per element, and that's too much. So I just want to create an empty hero, and when it goes to name, it will, instead of doing this line, it should do temp hero. Now I'm thinking, I might not need to do this. Okay, let's do it this way. List of hero. No, actually, this way will be slightly better than doing it that way. I was just considering something else. It's better to do it this way. Temp hero dot hero name equals reader.term, etc. Does this work? It's giving me, it's used before it is assigned a value. Right. Okay. Equals new hero. Is it happy with that? Yes, it is. Good. So I kind of, well, I knew this before, but I haven't used it recently. When creating an object that you define yourself, such as hero. So it's sort of like how, say, looking at comparing these two lines. If integer is something that's built in, so we declare hero counter as an integer and assign it a value of 0 in the beginning. Now for hero, we declare it as hero, except assigning it, we can't go assign it as 9 because it's not an integer. It's a special object. It's a special object called hero that we create ourselves. So now the assignment will also be slightly special. We'll need to add this word, this new word new here to signal we're creating a new object, and that object is hero. And there needs to be brackets here to signal its action. So this is it's actually a construction, a function that creates a new hero. And this new just tells you to create a new copy of it. But you'll see this over and over again. So whenever you create a class yourself and want to create a new instance of that class, then you will go new and then your class name with brackets. Brackets signal it's a function, it's an action. All right. Now, inside the code, now I just need to change all the lines to something that will call upon one of the hero attributes. So now the idea is, temp hero is our empty hero. This is where we're going to store all the information. Now to access each of the attributes, we use the dot. Now it has a formal name. It's called the something. I forgot about it. Something property. Dot property. No, that doesn't sound right. There's a special word for that dot. It's something you use to access the properties of this class object. All right, so that's going to store this value, which will be the name inside the tag, inside of temp_hero.heroName. Now, it might be a little bit wordy here. If you find that, you can either mute me. That might be a little bit rude. Otherwise, you can just skip ahead in the video. temp_hero.class. No, we named the hero class. Equals that, and I'll just do the same thing for each one. This is going to look pretty much similar. Remove that, replace it, and this is hero race. And you can skip ahead of the video. If I have time, I could probably cut this part of the video out. Oh, I think I messed up the order. This is class. Oh, seems like I have a redundant piece of code. I just noticed. So probably you might have noticed or you might have not noticed since this is not part of the to-do. But apparently there seems to be a redundant part of the code because this is class, that's this class as well. So I'm just going to delete that. I didn't notice it before. Now, hero, this is hero attack. And this is hero defense. So you can pause the video here if you're still listening to the video and do this yourself and skip ahead by a couple seconds. Well, I'm almost done here. Hero hit points. Alright, so there we go. We set up all the everything to do with the hero. Now we can okay, let's see. I'm thinking about where should we store the hero? When should we store the hero into the list? We could do it down here. However, it's not the best idea because in case we want to add a new attribute, well, unless I think of a better way. So currently, if I store it, so I'm just debating, if I store it up here, then the first time it runs through, it's going to store an empty hero. Now, if I store it down here, the downside is I would need to change this code if I add a new column, like a new attribute. Then hit points would not be the last one. But I'll just do this for now. We're not going to be worrying too much about optimization. So what I want to do is when it reaches hit points, which is the last attribute, then it will store it inside the array. So the array is what I call it, list of heroes. Okay. Yes, it is called list of heroes. Okay, list of heroes dot add, and now I place temp hero inside. But not dot add. I need to go list of heroes. I'm thinking that it's an array list, but it's not. List of hero and access the what's it called, hero counter -1 equals temp hero. So now list of heroes in my array, and I'm storing temp hero. After I stored all the individual attributes inside of temp hero, now I store temp hero inside of my list. So my list of heroes is this list of each column. Each column is one element, each row is one element in my list. So now I store the entire row inside of my list of heroes. Now I think I'm done with that. Now I'll just move on and complete all of this. Alright, so this part of the code I can actually change and make it much more efficient. So create hero, all I need to do now is change this to list of heroes and I, because I don't need to access all the attributes since they're all bundled together. That's the other point. So if you use a individual list, then you have to do something like this. Whereas now, if we bundle all the attributes together, I just need to pass in one copy of it from the list. And then inside the code down here, I would then need to change all this to reflect that. So now I'm passing in just the hero, and instead of all of these would now be changed to hero.name. Okay, I'll call it hero name. Yep. Okay, so this is another part of the video that you can stop and do this yourself and jump ahead in the video. It's going to change all that, and just going to change all the words. In the meantime, I'll just mention that this process is called refactoring code. So changing the code where it doesn't do anything different, but makes it better, is called refactoring. Race, class, and name. Okay, I think that's it. And now the next red underline here, let's see what is missing. Writer. What happened to writer? Okay, obviously I don't need all this now. I'll worry about the comments later. You can update the comments yourself as well. So I have that. Oh, obviously, I forgot to delete that. Okay, so that was the issue. Now, moving onwards. So again, I need to change all of this. Right, okay, so this would need to be changed as, let's see, I'm thinking about it. First, I need to store them all into my lists, my array of my temp hero. Okay, so I might need to do this again. Dim temp hero, that's hero equals new hero, and then each of these will be, I'm just thinking, is there a better way to do this? No, this is fine enough, good enough. Okay, it's going to be a lot of typing. Hero dot hero names equals all this. Alright, so I might as well just delete this part of the code, and this will be replace. Again, there's another part of the video that you can go ahead and skip. Do this yourself, and then skip ahead. So, just call the hero class, place, attack, defense, hit points. Alright, and then finally I'll store it inside of my array of heroes. Left of heroes, num heroes, num heroes -1 equals temp hero. Alright, and that's done. And then what else? This hero name. Alright, so this part will need to be list of hero I dot hero name instead. Now let's see this part. Ooh, okay, so I need to change this as well. This will be hero, no, list of hero change all of these to list of hero, list of hero, list of hero, list of hero, list of hero. This one is dot hero name. This one is dot hero class. This one is dot hero race. This one is dot hero attack. Dot hero defense. Dot hero hit points. Okay, done. I'm still giving you red underlines for some reason because of the brackets. Bracket there, delete this, bracket here, delete this, bracket here. Save. Okay. Alright, now's the moment of truth. Does this actually work? So, run the code. Now you can thoroughly test it if you like. First I'm going to run it, see if it works. Oh, it's taking a moment to load up. How long is my video? Hopefully it's not too long. It's been going for 21 minutes, which is quite long, actually. Ah, okay. Does not match table start position 2, does not match the end tag of hero. Probably a problem with my XML code, I'm guessing. Do I have a hero that doesn't have an end hero? Ah, here, I see, this part. I was tweaking with the XML file as well. Okay, that runs. Do I have? Yes, I have both. Did I call them both James? Oh, I did. No, I called one of them James, one of them Charles. So it's kind of weird how it's giving me both James. And then this part, create text for hero, index out of range. I didn't press the button. Let's try it again. Let's see, what could the error be? Alright, I'm probably going to pause this video and think about it, and then come back. So there will be a part 1 and part 2.